So, humans are going to Mars. And not in some distant sci-fi future, but soon. Private companies like SpaceX are aiming for missions as early as 2026, while national space agencies such as NASA and China are targeting the 2030s. Even countries like India, Russia, and the UAE are preparing their own plans. But here's the real question nobody talks about enough. What actually happens when we get there? Because getting to Mars is only half the story. Surviving it is something completely different. And surprisingly, we already have some answers. The Mars problem, it's not what you think. At first glance, Mars doesn't seem that different from Earth. It has land, mountains, massive volcanoes, and deep craters. Its day is also incredibly similar, just about 37 minutes longer than ours. That almost sounds comforting. But that's where the similarities end. Because everything else about Mars is hostile. The gravity is only about 38% of Earth's, which might sound fun at first. You could jump higher, move differently, but over time, it slowly destroys your body. Muscles weaken, bones lose density. Even basic physical strength becomes harder to maintain. Imagine someone like a professional athlete lifting heavy weights every day and then suddenly being forced to train with weights that are less than half as heavy. Over time, their body would shrink and weaken. That's exactly what happens in low-gravity environments. And that's just one problem. Mars' atmosphere is almost entirely carbon dioxide, about 95%. Breathing without protection? Impossible. On top of that, the planet is constantly exposed to dangerous radiation. Unlike Earth, Mars doesn't have a strong magnetic field to protect it. That means anyone living there would be exposed to levels of radiation that could cause serious long-term damage. So yes, Mars isn't just difficult, it's extremely dangerous. Why simulating Mars on Earth matters? To prepare for these conditions, scientists have been running Mars simulations right here on Earth. These aren't simple experiments. They're controlled environments designed to mimic what life on Mars would actually feel like. Physically, mentally, and socially. The idea is simple. Fail here, so you don't fail there. Because Mars is far, really far. At its maximum distance, it can be around 380 million kilometers away, which is roughly 1,000 times farther than the Moon. And that changes everything. If something goes wrong on the Moon, help can arrive relatively quickly. If something goes wrong on Mars, you're on your own. There are no quick fixes, no emergency rescues. That's why these simulations are so important. They help scientists understand not just the big risks, but the small ones too. And interestingly, it's often the small things that matter the most. Small problems that become big. When people think about Mars, they imagine massive challenges, radiation, gravity, oxygen. But according to scientists, those are the problems we already understand. We can build technology to handle them. The real danger lies in the things we haven't thought about yet. For example, imagine wearing a spacesuit for hours. You start sweating. Your nose itches. But you can't move your hand inside the helmet to scratch it. That tiny inconvenience might sound harmless. But over time, these small frustrations build up. They affect focus, mood, and performance. Even something as simple as adding a small piece of foam inside the helmet so astronauts can rub their nose can make a huge difference. It sounds insignificant. But on Mars, comfort equals survival. Scientists have conducted hundreds of these experiments over the years, and many of them failed. But that's the point. They follow a simple philosophy. Fail fast. Fail cheaply. Learn quickly, because every mistake made on Earth is one less mistake made on Mars. Physical survival is only half the battle. Even if we solve all the physical challenges, there's another layer to this problem: the human mind. Mars missions won't last days or weeks. They'll last months, maybe years. And during that time, astronauts will be isolated, confined, and completely cut off from Earth. That kind of environment changes people. So scientists are now studying something just as important as technology: human psychology. Who can actually survive Mars? Interestingly, there's no such thing as a perfect astronaut. Scientists don't just look for the smartest or strongest individuals. Instead, they analyze hundreds of different factors, from physical health to personality traits. In some selection processes, they evaluate over 600 different parameters. That includes everything from medical data to social behavior. Because on Mars, being technically skilled isn't enough. You need to be someone who can work in a team under pressure, stay calm in stressful situations, maintain positive relationships in isolation, adapt to unexpected problems. In other words, you need to be human in the best possible way. Surprisingly, scientists aren't looking for extreme personalities. They prefer what they call the average person, not average in ability, but balanced in behavior. Someone who can complement others rather than dominate them. Because in a confined environment, personality clashes can be just as dangerous as technical failures. Monitoring human behavior in real time. One of the most fascinating parts of Mars simulations is how deeply scientists monitor human behavior. They don't just observe, they analyze. For example, artificial intelligence systems can detect stress by analyzing subtle changes in a person's voice. When someone is under pressure, their vocal pitch shifts slightly. It's a small change, but measurable. In other experiments, astronauts wear tracking devices that create heat maps showing where people spend time. Why does that matter? Because distance between people can reveal emotional tension. If two crew members start avoiding each other, it might indicate a developing conflict before they even realize it themselves. That allows scientists to step in early and prevent problems from escalating. The goal isn't just survival. It's keeping people functional, cooperative, and mentally stable. The importance of morale. There's a simple phrase scientists often use: no food, no fight. It sounds basic, but it's true. On Mars, small things like good meals, humor, and shared activities become incredibly important. Astronauts aren't just engineers or scientists, they're also entertainers, problem solvers, caregivers, teammates. Someone who can tell a joke at the right moment or cook a decent meal might be just as valuable as someone who can fix a technical system. Because mental stability isn't optional on Mars, it's essential. From survival to colonization. So far, most plans for Mars focus on short-term missions. Go there, study the environment, come back. That alone is already incredibly risky. But some people are thinking much bigger. Elon Musk, for example, has openly talked about making humans a multiplanetary species. Not just visiting Mars, but living there permanently. And that raises an entirely new set of questions. Could humans actually adapt to Mars? If humans stay on Mars long enough, something interesting could happen. We might start to change. Radiation exposure, low gravity, and a completely different environment could lead to physical adaptations over generations. Some scientists speculate that skin might evolve to better handle radiation. Bone structures could adjust to lower gravity. The immune system might weaken due to sterile environments. These changes wouldn't happen overnight. But over time, they could reshape what it means to be human. It's a strange thought, that one day humans on Mars might look slightly different from us. Will we actually go? After all this, the biggest question still remains: will humans really settle on Mars? Some scientists believe the answer is yes, not because it's easy, but because it's part of who we are. Humans have always been explorers. From crossing oceans to climbing mountains to reaching space, we've always pushed beyond what's comfortable. Mars is just the next step, a natural extension of our curiosity, ambition, and desire to expand. One day, future generations might look up at the sky and see small points of light, not stars, but human settlements. And they'll know we made it there. Final thoughts. The journey to Mars isn't just a technological challenge, it's a human challenge. It tests everything: our bodies, our minds, our relationships, and our ability to adapt. We can build better rockets, we can design better suits, we can develop smarter systems. But at the end of the day, the success of Mars missions depends on one thing: us. How we handle pressure, how we work together, how we solve problems when there's no backup plan. Because Mars doesn't forgive mistakes. And that's exactly why preparing for it, in every possible way, is the most important mission we've ever undertaken. If this made you think differently about the future of humanity, make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.